Hello, you have reached my floss tube channel, which is a channel all about cross stitch and my journey to stitch all the things. My name is Katie. Today is Wednesday, May 14th. I've done the intro like 4 times. We're going with it. I go by Jeremiah's mom. I normally do my floss tubes on Mondays, and I go over what I've worked on since the last Monday. This week's different. I decided to do a WIP Parade inspired by the wonderful Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches. I'm doing it daily instead of one really long video. This is part 2. Yesterday was the first part. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was funny. It made me really nervous. Who knows why. It really is different than just a normal check-in. So I don't know. And it was torture because every piece I remembered I wanted to work on it, and I couldn't stitch on everything I wanted to last night. And today, looking ahead, it's going to be equally as hard. So this was really a bad decision. It seemed like a lot of people enjoyed it, which I'm really glad. I enjoyed sharing with you my whips. Some of them you've seen on this channel, some of them you haven't seen. So it was really fun. Today is the second part. I am going to go through the second part of my current whips, which the criteria for the current category is to have been worked on sometime this year. So trying to break up the whips into manageable categories and to see how that works. So it makes me feel better than saying I have 60 total, which I probably will, but I am a stitch what I want when I want kind of person. If I want to start something new, I will. That's one of the major problems is then getting back to everything. So that's the hardest part. So today we're going to start with the second part. So let's see what I have to share today. The first one up is Mother Nature Winter. This was a series that was in Just Cross Stitch magazine in 2023. This was the February issue. Let me see. I have that written down. Yes, it was the February issue. They did a whole set that year of the 4 seasons and then did a separate one for Christmas and Halloween. I have a goal this year to work on at least once a month. I didn't set a number. I just would like to work on it once a month. The grand plan is I'd love to finish all 6, but I doubt they'll be finished this year. I would just love to finish one. Really, I would just love to make progress. So I started this one December 31st, 2024. And I got it as a Christmas gift for my husband and my son. Let's see, the last time I worked on it was last month. I haven't pulled it back out for May just yet. I am stitching this one on a 40 count Illusion Verdale from Mystic Fabrics. My friend Annette gave me a whole bunch of Mystic Fabrics that she had that she didn't want to stitch on, and I absolutely love them. I have done a few 40 count, but I just love how delicate she looks. I am stitching this one 2 threads over 2 just so that it has really, really good coverage. I had to backstitch her face. Sometimes I backstitch as I go, as you can see. Some of the details I just really wanted to see pop. And let me see if I can quickly say I have 8 days into this one right now. So I cannot wait. Like I said yesterday the whole time, even though I told you I wasn't going to get this one back out. That I rewatched the video yesterday, and no matter how much I tried at the beginning to say that I didn't want to say that, I'm pretty sure I did for every piece. And we was giggling about how difficult it is to get it all back in the envelope. So trust me, it was a total mess. The second one today lives in this cute little emoji bag. I don't remember where I got it. When I see these little bags, I'm like, they work perfect, especially for mill kits, which is what lives in here. You never pass up the opportunity to have a cute bag. The only bad thing about these bags, it's really hard to get everything out, especially when you want to. Oh, come on. Okay, gosh. I got a set of Gem Shore gnomes from Mill Hill. This one is the mushroom gnome. Oh, sorry. This set had 6 in it. I have finished 3. So I have this one and 2 more to go. I did notice yesterday I didn't leave the project picture up long enough, so I'm trying harder today. You live and learn. I'll just show you real fast while I have you. I did you know what? I don't have these wrote down, but I think this is the evergreen gnome. That's one of them that was finished. I just love how these turned out. This one I think was called the acorn gnome. Just absolutely cute. And oh, I don't remember what this one was called. I don't remember. He's too cute. Let me see if I can get that information fast. I'll leave you with staring at him. Oh, you know when you know where to go and then you go there and it takes forever to load. He was the owl gnome. Makes sense. I finished these 3. Let me see. It was the acorn gnome. I was right about his name. And the evergreen gnome. I finished all 3 of those last year. So I'd love to keep that trend going. Here is the mushroom gnome now. It is the typical Mill Hill where it's on the perforated paper. I started this one July 31st last year. I bought the whole set in September of 2023. I have 8 days into this one right now. I use him for a lot of challenges, so it seems like I pull him out and just get a little bit of amount and then put it away. So I need to, that's one of those. I need to get back to him and spend more time so I can make bigger progress. And let's see if it's handy. Probably isn't. You know what? 3, 4. Here's one of the next ones. The pine cone gnome. I will be right back. I went and grabbed the other one. This one is rabbit gnome. And those are the 2 I have to do after mushroom gnome is finished. So I guess I might as well show you the whole set. Even though these 2 are stashed. They aren't even opened yet. Let's see if I can get it all back in the envelope. My husband said I could have just thrown them on the floor, and then I said everything would have ended up in the wrong spot. So that would have been bad. A friend, Janet from Janet Jabber, had some bags that she made that she gave me, and this one's a lemon bag. I absolutely love it. I have 4 gnome projects living in here, but right now you only get to see one. You will see the other ones coming up in a different day. Ooh, foreshadowing. I am working on this one. This is what it is in French. It is by Jardin Prive. I looked it up online, and the translation is Christmas Among the Gnomes. I nicknamed it Noel Gnomes, so that it was just easier. This is one of those I'm really close. I worked on it yesterday. I just have this row right here left. So if I would just get it out and work on it, which I did. I am stitching this one on 32 count light mocha Lugana. I do like even weave the most. I go back and forth between Lugana and Joblin. It doesn't really matter. 32 count seems to be my favorite right now. That's changed a lot. I used to stitch on a lot of 28, so I have 28 and 32 in my stash. I also found out that I love working on 40 count. So here's where I am right now. I started this one November 6th, 2024. I have, if I can hold it right, 13 days into it right now as it falls. And I'm so close. I got the pot added last night and the start of this gnome. Oh, no, and a whole snowman. And has snowballs that he's going to throw at somebody. Probably cause problems. The other gnomes that are in that project bag will be out later this week. And my things coming this year. Things coming soon. Next up is more gnomes. These are Patriotic Gnome Littles by Waxing Moon Designs. Here's what it's going to look like. I am doing them individual. When and if I ever finish these, I also have a set that looks the same that are winter themed. I absolutely love gnomes. I am stitching this one on a 32 count platinum Belfast linen. I have 2.5 done right now. I'm stitching them all on one fabric, but then I plan on cutting them out when it gets closer. When it gets finished. The words are not good today. The hardest part for me is most of the time I do them, I cut the fabric out so that it's individual, is trying to space them out far enough. So I really hope, I'm pretty sure I can fit them on here. But it's so funny how much of a challenge that was. But when you do them individually, I noticed you waste a lot of fabric. So I'm trying to do them all together, but I think I'd rather them be individual. So I finished Firework Gnome a long time ago. I don't even remember. I started this set in April 26th of 2024. I finished Fireworks Gnome last year. He took me 2 days. Then I did the Balloon Girl, and she took me 3 days. And so far I have 4 days into the Celebrate Gnome. It's the same thing. I've been using him for little challenges, so I only pull it out, work on it like 100 stitches, and then put it away. So that's another one of those that I need to pull it out and work on it longer. I think that that's one thing I do. I join a lot of challenges. I love the challenges, but then I work on things for short times. So I already have ideas in my head for June and July to take a break on the short days and work on some of my pieces for longer periods of time. But we'll see. I'll say that now. Okay, next is Peppermint Purple Sal. I have always enjoyed blackwork, but I have never done the Peppermint Purple Sal. Thankfully, a friend of mine, Faith, was working on last year's, and she told me, you know, it's free, and I went, why have I never joined? So I joined this year. I am doing layout 1. And I'm using the purple colorway. It was really neat that she had like four or 3 different options, and I'm gonna say it all wrong. There was so many different options. Then you could do an inside block, and I just loved that. You could kind of make it your own. This one, I really like the shape of it, and I think it'll make a really cool pillow finish. I started this one December 27th last year. She is doing new pieces every Wednesday. So you get 52 by the end of the year. I am adding them 2 weeks at a time. So today I will do the last 2 weeks. Here I am right now. The fabric is 32 count platinum Lugana. The inside DMC is 155. The second collar right now is 333. And this outside section is 550. And I think this week's 2 pieces are over here. So this week I'll add these 2 pieces. Like I said, words. You know by now, you've tuned in. If you're new, I mess up my words. It's just me. I do it all the time, and then you involve the camera and nerves, and I do it a lot worse. Okay, Rainbow Dragon is next. This is one of my pain-free crafts. When I saw this one posted, I said, yep, I have to have it. She is absolutely gorgeous. The artwork is by Bonita Doodles. I looked into more information on her, and she said she does her doodling in colored pencil. And wow, she has some other artwork on her Instagram, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. But of course, I had to have the dragon. This came out after Christmas in 2021, and I had received a lot of Christmas presents that were cross-stitching. And when I saw this, I ran and told my family, I said, okay, Santa Claus didn't know that this was going to come out. So I got it for myself. And they were like, didn't you get enough? And I said, is there ever enough? I started this one in New Year's, New Day, January 1st in 2022. I am using 32 count lamb's wool Joblin. I'm doing 1/1 complete X. In amazing colors. Just beautiful. And I think it's only like 90 colors, but boy. And it's a little different because there's no background. So right away, that first stitch was just gorgeous. I think I started on the peak of the purple horn. And I was in love the first day. But this one, I don't know why it doesn't come out enough. I know I'm concentrating on Beer Dragon and another piece that we'll talk about later. So this one has 31, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. And that is one that I do the parking method. It just works for me. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I said, you know, I've noticed parking method is a love-or-hate kind of thing. When a long time ago, see, I've been stitching for like 28 years. I started with Heaven and Earth, and I read about the parking method, and I said, okay, I don't understand, and I watched a lot of how-to videos, and it's one of those that I just needed to get it in my hand. And then when I got it in my hand and looked at it, I said, oh, okay, that really, to me, it makes sense. Now it's funny because of floss tube. There's so many different options. There's diagonal and royal rose, and I'm so stuck doing it the way I do it that I can't do anything different. And I'm still a paper pattern person. So I don't have the pattern keeper to do all the fancy stuff that some people do. So I'm going to stick it to it my way. Okay, next one up is Spirits of the Watchtower, my new Glendon place. It gets to live in this awesome camper license plate bag that I got on Etsy from Crab Shack Stitchery. Too cool. It's made beautifully. I would definitely get another bag from them. I started this one in honor of my mom on her birthday this year. Here is what it's going to look like. I got the email. I signed up for the Stony Creek Friday Flash emails. And this one, the email came in March, on March 14th. And I opened the email, and my husband and son was sitting nearby. And I said, oh, no. And my husband goes, what now? Because he knows that means I just seen something that I have to have. And I said, you guys, it's a spooky lighthouse. And both of them right away said, yeah, that's your mom and you combined, because she loved lighthouses and I love spooky things. So spooky lighthouse was meant to be. I ended up being able to get the whole kit from Stony Creek. So I got the fabric and the Sullivan thread pack and the Rainbow Gallery thread pack. So I really love it. And then I ended up using some survey money that I do fun surveys online, and it paid for the whole thing. So that was very cool. It was guilt-free, other than having yet another WIP. The fabric that was suggested for this one is a 28 count Raven Cashel linen by Crosswing Collection. I started this one in the bottom left section. I'll show you for the little crab. I don't know why. I just decided to start there. Here's what it looks like. Oh my goodness. It's just, it takes my breath away when I see it. And it comes through on the video fantastic. That it's a little darker in person, but boy, that is that breathtaking. And there is the little crab. And it only have the one day in this one, so it's easy to tell you that. And this is my first time working with the Sullivan's threads, and I like them. I definitely wouldn't switch completely, but the collars are really bright, so that's nice. That's more of what Glendon Place picked, but I've done other pieces from Glendon Place, and I really enjoy them. They're really nice stitches, and the back stitching is easy to read and easy to follow, and it's just 310, so that's always nice. And the fabric is not cut down, so it's huge. So pardon me. Okay, now I have a weird thread. Next is Primrose Cottage. I had never owned a Primrose Cottage until last year. And I stopped, I think it was last year. Yes, it was last year. I stopped with friends of mine at Always in Stitches in Noblesville, and they have a wall pretty much designated to Primrose Cottage. And I just stood there and I said, oh, I really like those. I had never done a Quaker, not as far as I remember. And it was just, I suddenly clicked that I liked them. So I was like, I must have one of each. That was dangerous. I called my husband and I said, I'm sorry, I got one of each. And he said, as long as you're happy. So this is Spring Quaker. I have already finished a Winter Quaker. And I am using the variegated DMC for these. For this one, I decided to use the DMC 52. They use classic colorworks, but I've always wanted an excuse to try the DMC variegated, so I really like them. They're really cool. And I am stitching this set on 32 count vintage country mocha. Here's where I am right now. I started this one March 26th this year. I only have 2 days in it right now, but I just absolutely love how that variegated thread is turning out. I am a little cautious about how I do the stitching, but it's enjoyable. I end up loving the way it looks. The winter one turned out absolutely perfect. So I was very, very happy with it. Oh, there you go. Now there's a thread over here. Then today, instead of whips everywhere, I'm going to just have threads everywhere. Next up is another set. I have said this before. I absolutely love a seasonal set. Especially one that comes out of the bag. This is a set from New York Dreamer. A friend of mine, Janet from Janet Jabber, was working on these, and I had to have them. The peer pressure is normally really strong. I have finished the other 3 seasons. This one I have not. Who knows why. Oh, see? I pull it down too soon. I had never heard of New York Dreamer, so it was really neat to see a set that I had never seen the designer before, so I was really glad to get something new. And I am doing these with the specialty threads it calls for. It has some Weeks Dye Works and some country. Oh. Yep, you say that, and then it's not easy to see. Hang on. I think it's Country Cottage. Classic Colorworks. I'm glad I looked. So Classic Colorworks threads and Weeks Dye threads and DMC. So it uses a little bit of everything. I am stitching this on a 32 count vintage country mocha. And I only have 1 day into it. This was a new start last month for Spring Go. So I started it April 10th. And I only got, I think, 100 stitches and then put it away. I would love to get this one out this year in summer and get it finished. It is on my year of whips, so I know that I would really like to get it done. And a teeny tiny little start. Oh well, you got to start it if you want to finish it, right? Now you just need to work on it if I want to finish it. I'm noticing a theme. You know, no matter how hard you try, they don't make progress in their envelope. So you have to actually get it out of the envelope to make progress. Oh, I don't want to get this one out because I love it, and I'm going to just stop the video and go work on it. This is a Black Pearl by the Witchy Stitcher. I saw Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches working on this. I said, why do I not have that? I said, how did I miss it? But, you know, really, I didn't know about Witchy Stitcher until I think last year. I was like, what? This existed? I don't know how long she's been around, but boy, I needed to know about her sooner. So I put it on my wish list and I bought it, as soon as I could. It's just too cool. But one thing I wanted is not to do it on beige with DMC, black DMC. So me and my husband went through my stash, and I had this fabric, which is 32 count Shadowbrook Opalescent Lugana from Silk Weaver. Now I threw this in. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I am using DMC 796. And I'm in love. Yep. What's frustrating is I started this March 21st and I have not picked it back up. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. All the other projects. But I do hear this one screaming loudly and it needs to come back out. It really does. It's begging for attention. And the I Spy Challenge this month in Stitching by the Shore Facebook group has something Cookie Monster Blue. Yeah, it works. So unfortunately, I will probably have to pull it out because, it works for a challenge. Oh, at least I could get it. If I stop the video now, you all know that I went to work on that. Okay. Next up is another cool bag that I got from Janet. I love cardinals. So it totally doesn't match what's in it. I don't have themed bags. It's just grab a cute bag. Oh, if you can get the zipper open. This one is a Star Wars pattern that lives in here. So I guess I really need a Star Wars bag. The bags do definitely get addicting. This one is The Mandalorian by Forbidden Fiber Co. It's another one of the pieces that Janet, I'm noticing a lot of peer pressure for her today. She was working on this, and I was watching her floss tube, and Jeremiah, my Star Wars nerd, and seen this and went, "Oh, Mom, that would be really cool." And I went, "Yeah, thanks. Another project." So I was forced to get it. Forbidden Fiber Co. does her own fabrics and threads, so I got the threads for this, and they're absolutely beautiful. I love the names of her threads. They're so cool. This is on another piece of 40 count that I got from Annette. Thank you so much, Annette. And it's just a white, I think this was the test that she's like, hey, I wanted to see, would you enjoy using white even weave 40 count? And this is when I fell in love. And then she brought me a whole nother stack and I said, okay, thank you. And here is where I am now. I started this one May 22nd last year. I have 10 days in. It's just Mandalorian left. I'm not going to say it, but if I worked on it, it would get done. And then it wouldn't be a WIP. I love this. This is just one thread. And it's just too beautiful. I don't remember. Let me see if I can see quick. Her threads are beautiful. It was called This Is the Way. And it was just a beautiful variegated. And I love that there was like Star Wars themes. So one of them was Wookiee. And it's just adorable. Such a neat idea. I have looked at her pattern, other patterns too, and I try to stay away from her website because they're so cute. So there I am with that one. I could have probably done an own section of WIPs that just need to be worked on. But really, all my current WIPs need to be worked on. That's why they're current WIPs. They just aren't current WIPs often enough to be finished. Oh, another one that I really love. Another one I love that hasn't been worked on, and I don't know why. This is the Pirate from Cottage Garden. Yeah, Cottage Garden. She's another designer that I had never done any of her patterns before. I love pirates and I love winter. So pirate snowman, how perfect. I got this one at Always in Stitches with my friends last year. I started it June 24th last year. And I just have sad progress. I am using a 36 count Mirage Edinburgh linen. When I saw the pattern, I said it just needs a dark, stormy night fabric. It's not working. Hang on. Let me put the clips in it so this one stays. I've noticed linen doesn't like to stay on the board. So that's what I have these fancy clips for. You just have to bear with me. Let's see. I have 7 days in. I haven't worked on this one since February. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. It's beautiful. It needs to come back out. Somebody needs to remind me to get these out. I do have some thinking going on about how, do I work on these more. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of my normal floss tube videos. I have 3 more for today. And this is another one that I enjoy. This one is Trust the Universe by the Sunflower Diaries. I received this in a giveaway from Chez Stitch. It is not something I would normally stitch, but when I saw her post it, I fell in love. I love the message that we should trust the universe. I agree. And it's just beautiful. The only thing I don't like about this one, and we've figured that out, is see the goose's head? When Carolyn would show the picture, I thought it was part of the flower. And I was kind of like, I don't really understand. And then she said about the goose, and I said, oh, you don't even see it. So we had talked about it, and I said, I know that I need to get a nice fabric for this one. So I'm going to use my clips now because I know this one won't stay. I found a 40 count Prairie Land from Atomic Ranch. And you can really see the goose. Right now I just have the goose's body. I don't have his head yet. I started this one February 22nd this year. This has gentle art threads and some DMC. I am stitching this one 1/1. No, 1/2. Yeah, 1/2. This one, the coverage was good enough. And of course, now that I said that, I realized I forgot to say what threads I'm using for a whole bunch of them. Mandalorian was on 40 count. It was 1/2. The coverage was wonderful. So this one, I tried it and I really love it. It was really neat because this is just a B5200, but the beautiful fabric is shining through, so it comes off like a variegated, even though it's not. So I really enjoy working on that. I only have 5 days into this one. Why? it I think it's on my list for this month. So hopefully it'll come back out soon. Even though this month is flying by. Okay, next up. This one is another seasonal set. This is When I Think of Spring from PuntiniPuntini. I have already finished winter. My goal for the year is to finish this set and the Primrose Cottage set in the month, in the season that it is in. So I want to finish spring before the first day of summer. Then either the first day of summer or soon thereafter, I'll start the summer pieces. That's just a fun way to stitch seasonally. I started this one March 20th, which was the first day of spring this year. And I'm using 32 count light taupe. I say that all the time. Light taupe Lugana. Oh. These was a market release that came out in 2020. I bought them from a store that is now closed with the grand plans of finishing them that year, and here they are this year. I have 4 days into this one. I did work on it already this month, but it will be finished before the first day of summer. It will be, I promise. So it has to come back out. If not, it will come back out in June and be finished. So it's really not much more left for this one, so it should be done. It is a very fun set to stitch. I enjoy PuntiniPuntini. I don't think I'd stitch anything from them. So it seems like today has a lot of different designers that are fun. If you have tuned into my channel before, you know today's last WIP. You have heard the celebrations about today's this last WIP. And if he's listening, there will be another celebration. So maybe we won't say the word. It's Yggdrasil. Oh. This is by Paine Free Crafts. Artwork is by Ann Stokes. I don't even know where to start. We have enjoyed mythology forever. Jeremiah's 27. He's always loved mythology. We fell in love with Vikings and Norse mythology. And I was on the hunt for a Viking themed pattern that I liked. I kept seeing ones and I was just like, I don't really like that. When Pain Free posted this, I could not buy it fast enough. It has everything that we wanted in a Viking theme chart. He loves it. I set a goal this year to work on it at least once a month. So far I've met it. He makes me stick to it. I started this one June 1st last year. I am stitching it on 32 count lamb's wool Jovelin, 1 thread over 1 complete X. And I just showed this one Monday, but here it gets to be again. I have page 1 and 2 finished, and this is all the way across the 3rd page now. And I'm pretty sure I said I have 2.8%, which I have to do the long way since I use paper patterns. But it was worth it because I was excited and depressed at the same time. He got really excited. I said, you realize I have to go to 100? So 2.8 sad. This is no longer for sale on Paine Free Crafts, so it was one of those get it when you see it. There's some patterns you just can't wait. That's just, I'm so glad I got it when I did. She has other Ann Stokes, but she doesn't have Yggdrasil. Dude, I said Yggdrasil.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's all for today. Today went a little longer. I took a little bit more time. I hope you enjoyed it. The comments are just amazing. I absolutely love getting in conversations in the comments. This ends my 29 current WIPs. I say that because I think there's a new start coming today. So tomorrow I'm going to do a category of it's not started, but it probably will be soon. So I have I think I have 12. We'll see. So I hope you come back tomorrow. We'll see you then. I'll end the way I always do. Find all the reasons you can to smile. Find all the reasons you can to laugh. Love yourself, and good luck stitching all the things.